Hello again, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. It is Talcott time. Hey, happy Monday, and thank you to some of the familiar faces who have already stopped by in the chat. Snafu, good to see you. Jessica Jane, Simple Jack Live. Blessings, and thank you to those who are joining now and may join at a later time. Tonight, rising through change. Our life is shaped by our mind, for we become what we think. And that is so true. This is what my vision of what I hope to achieve through this channel, this platform, through the YouTube and social media. I hope to share some of the peace and some of the things, perspectives I've learned that I've been allowed to learn. Because the things I've learned, I've found to be pretty helpful for myself. And right now, I try not to let it get to me, but I pay attention to what's going on in the world. Hey, Christos, good to see you, brother. And hello, people. Is that going? Boy, a little lag there. Hey, welcome. This morning, well, I'm very open. When I'm not online doing my own part, I actively pursue inspiration. I've got a drive within me, a yearning to keep learning. And I kind of want to pass that on to you, whoever you might be, because I tell you what, I spent a long time, many years in this life, trying to do the best things that I could with what I saw. And the best things that I could, it led me into the security of a career, the security of a government job and benefits and, a secure paycheck. A lot of regularity that many people didn't have the luxury to enjoy like I did. I wasn't always looking for work. I wasn't, constantly moving around. I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. For a guy with no college education, depending on how you look at the numbers, the way the Postal Service said, I made like over $90,000 a year with all their benefits and generosity. But I was very comfortable. I think my salary it's been a few years. Maybe it was $70,000 a year. It was a decent wage for a guy who didn't invest $100,000 into college. And the security, the benefits, those were things that some of my other friends didn't enjoy. But I reached that top scale, right? The progression on your pay scale, it goes through time, and at some point you max out your wage. So that's where I was at. I was maxed out at my wage. I was already holding one of the fewer higher level positions. So I was doing the best I could to capture as much of the bag as I could. But here's the reality. When you sell yourself as an employee, there's very few situations that I've learned of where this is not true. But when you sell yourself as a waged employee for hourly time, you're getting the breadcrumbs, man. You're getting the breadcrumbs the boss is willing to toss aside. And the breadcrumbs I was receiving were pretty decent, especially for where I live. Cost of living is pretty low, reasonably low where I'm at. But just knowing my situation from that perspective that, well, Jack, this is it, man. This is the best you got to look forward to. Weekends off, 5 weeks of vacation and a secure income. That's the best you've got to look forward to. It's like, holy shit, man, this sucks. I was suicidal. I didn't share that openly. It wasn't an active thought, but I was sure hoping to die. But that was years ago for me. So, and the reason I bring that up, brothers and sisters, we each have our own rock bottom. We each have our own different breaking points. Some of us are tough, some of us are weak. It depends on the circumstances and the pressure. We are all unique based upon the uniqueness of our pasts. So I recognized my blessings, especially when, I'm open with what's been going on. It's been a little over 7 years now, but I checked myself into detox for my alcoholism. I found community and, trauma bonding, I guess, commiserating in the rooms of AA and NA. But I found strength too. And recognizing my blessings, holy shit, I got a wake up call, man. I'm sitting in these rooms with people who spent years in prison, rightfully or wrongfully. They spent years behind bars, which I'd never had to experience. I was sitting in the rooms with, I remember this woman. She was so grateful to be there. She found a pillow for the night before. Without shelter, sleeping in her vehicle, she finally found some comfort. And I was like, Jack, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Why are you so ungrateful? Once I started humbling myself to how blessed I was, I started to feel better. And so my life really didn't change, but my attitude sure did. My perspective sure has. And the reason, let me get to the point, the reason I'm bringing this up is, some of our recent conversations here on the stream, we talked about leadership and the strength of things, but there's also a depression and there's a lot of negativity that people are feeling and facing these days. And I don't know the rules. I shared Rusty Eyeballs, Sean Borland. I shared one of his short videos the other day. I watched him again today. And he was talking about rock bottom. And like I said, I was kind of blessed when my eyes started opening. I was blessed. I was a high bottom drunk. I was a functional alcoholic. But it doesn't mean I was healthy. It doesn't mean I was, put together. I just presented a false image. And I also had, I found my way into blessings that others didn't. So I didn't end up in the streets yet. But for those who have been part of the Talcottian adventure the past few months here, I came pretty close there a little bit, kind of. Hey, Flow State, welcome. Welcome to you too, brother. And Casey, thank you. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling blessed. I really am. And so the topic of today, rising through change with the recognition our life is shaped by our mind. These are lessons I learned firsthand, and then I find them explained in the ancient philosophies of the Buddhas and the other men and women of wisdom. There was a lot of them. There was a lot of men and women of wisdom that came before us and that are alive today. Maybe they're not in our immediate lives. That's what I finally came to realize. While I know a lot of damn good, fine men and women, holy cows, you are what you surround yourself with, okay? And it's really easy for us to normalize excuses and friggin' enable each other through our misery. Because if I'm suffering, you may as well suffer too. You just got to toughen up, man, and quit complaining about it, right? Humans are nuts, man. Humans are nuts. One of the things I realized for myself, and I encourage you to consider, everything in your life, it's up to you. You don't control what comes in and out of your experience, in and out of your awareness. You don't control, you have partial control over what you learn. But it's up to you how you feel about what you experience, what you learn. It's up to you what you think about these things. It's up to you what everything means for you. Because whatever you think the world means out there, you know, take anything, for example, like gender, men and women, government, wealth, nature. Take anything that is, and it is. What it means to you is up to you. So everything is up to you. So where is your rock bottom? Where is your cutoff line to say, no, I'm not accepting this in my life? You know, because the reality is where we live, our comfort zone, that's going to create our level of achievement, our success. How little are you willing to accept? Think about how that concept might have been used throughout our governments and our employer-employee dynamics. How little are they willing to accept? Because that's, let's face it, that's how our economics works, this entire capitalist system. How little can I pay you to do the work that I want done? Because the less you're willing to accept, if you accept less, then I get more. So this entire system, it's like one massive entity that is just dysfunctional. When I'm saying the system, I'm talking about the system in which humanity has grown to live. Our economics, our political, the nation states, the friggin' police states, we're in a surveillance state. Let me come back to the good. Let me come back to the good. Hey, good evening, Queen of Swords. Don't judge me. I did dress up for you guys. Thank you for noticing. I do care. No, I really don't. But I do enjoy, I enjoy feeling as though I look good, if that makes sense. I think we all do. I mentioned this earlier on the proper instruction motivates people. For those who don't know, which I find that bizarrely, well, it is possible. For those who don't know my association with Paul Unslaved and proper instruction motivates people, I spent a couple hours over there earlier today. Numbers dropping. Have you noticed that numbers are dropping? Numbers are. I'm trying to figure you out. You've got me a little confused too. You're trying to summon flow state the capitalists. It's not intentional. I'm not seeking disagreements or conflicts. I'm really not. But everyone is welcome. The link is pinned to the chat. I won't say everyone, but most are welcome. You know. Where I was going with that is I spoke on this earlier, so I don't mean to repeat, but if we feel separated, we will never care, right? With the things that are external to us, if we feel separated from the neighbors, we're not going to care. If we feel separated from whatever, we're not going to care. We're not going to give it any attention, except maybe to reject it or criticize it or complain about it. But when we care, when we find a love, when we find a care, a reason to care about the fact that something exists and that we're aware that it exists in the state that it exists, if we care, we create a connection. Now, be careful too, because you get into care and love. Those are easily inverted into fear and hate. Fear and love, they both capture our attention. They both move us in crazy ways. You ever been moved by love? God will do some stupid things. These fantasies and ideals in our heads. But the same thing with fear. You ever had these irrational fears that just drive you into whatever? I've experienced those. But that's kind of one of the other things I hope to get people to consider. You know, the reason I do this, my mind has been blown. Seriously, my mind has been blown by what God has allowed me to learn. When I say God has allowed me to learn, I mean the time I've spent here on earth. The time I've spent here on earth has allowed me to learn some incredible things in this lifetime. I give that up to God. Where I was going is my mind has been blown by what God has allowed me to learn. And so what I'm just kind of encouraging you to do is open your mind. And I'm offering some different perspectives on things that'll different, these perspectives that I've gained for myself that I've been practicing. I've been practicing the things I'm saying. So it's allowed me to feel free, to feel joy, and to feel faith. And those things, are right now. It's peace. It's the presence of the Christ, which is the spirit of consciousness, of pureness that is us. That powerful, loving nature of knowing, it's right there within us at all time, in all places. It's just there for us to accept. And I tell you what, once you accept peace into your life, into the moment, start with one moment, start with this moment. Allow yourself just to feel peaceful, just to feel grateful, to feel full of life, full of potential, full of talent, full of everything. We're all so more than what this world has wanted us to believe. Okay? So where I was going with this is if we feel separated from the world, we're not really going to care about the world. And you define the world. You know what the world is to you. But if you don't feel connected to that, well, you're going to feel isolated. You're going to feel all these negative feelings that I know. And those get heavy. You carry those negative feelings on you, and your mind, it literally, I mean, I don't know literally, but I've experienced it. It's just a darkness that you can't seem to get beyond. But you know what? What true courage is the power and the strength to take actions, to perform even when you feel fucked. Okay? Because there's times where you just feel, getting out of bed seems like it's too much, let alone taking a shower, getting dressed, or, there's days where it's like, it seems pointless. But this world, the way this universe works, it's all cause and effect. And the universe rewards actions, and the first actions start right there. So in your mind, you've either got thoughts that are pushing you forward, bringing you into a greater future, or you've got thoughts that are creating these limits on you, holding you back. And it changes. Maybe moment by moment it can change. But in the end, we are, row your boat. Life is but a dream. We are in this dream of life. There's no escape. I tried a bunch of ways. Maybe there is escape. I mean, you can always off yourself if you think that's right, but it's not right. I don't know if you can hear it, but I hear the birds chirping in the background. I got my windows open because it's nice. Well, it's kind of cloudy today, but it's nature. This universe is life. Life is you. So connect yourself to life. Can you do that? There's really no separation. Can you stop imagining a separation between you and life? Can you stop imagining a separation between you and the world? Between you and your past? You and your future? Can you stop imagining separations? Just recognize it's all one thing. There is one thing, an essence. It's a force. Oh, that was another one of my points, actually. Sorry for the pause here. I got a bunch of notes here, and I don't remember which thought I was just remembering. Aaron, brother, you are welcome. And there's been people who have asked to hear your words again. If you feel compelled and guided, please join. SJ, hey, a movie quote. Embrace the arduous time. Sister, amen. When you embrace the arduous times, it is life-changing. Thank you. Beautiful. Bring me back on point, too. We are all here for the same purpose. The purpose of life. And life will create the purpose. Only you know your purpose. But what I know the common purpose for each of us is, we're going to each go through our darkness so we can learn and become strengthened from our suffering. And through that knowledge and our generosity, we're going to reach the others who are experiencing similar suffering, and we're going to share the lessons we've learned. So, welcome, Unslavius. How are you today, brother? Long time no see.
I'm doing well, Talcott. So I got like someone down here. They're trying to steal all my good ideas, like always, because I came up with the Talcott bobblehead almost a year ago. And I never put it into effect, but I'm actually now reconsidering seriously making a Talcott bobblehead. Are you going to try to come after me for some kind of likeness like you did? You stole my trademark, made it your own. You said I wasn't quick enough on the draw with the paperwork. Are you going to try to come after me for using your likeness as a bobblehead?
I don't think so. I
can't
imagine myself doing something like that.
I could imagine you doing something like that.
Well, no. Are you parting ways?
No. Well, so as soon as, like, if it goes bad, if you get annoyed with me, you're coming after me for the damn bobblehead. That's what I mean. The fuck is that?
Paul, anything is possible.
Oh, man, you're a bitter motherfucker. See, this is why I can't do anything, because I'll have everyone all over me. He'll have Talcott money. No one knows where he gets it, and he'll be suing me for a damn bobblehead.
No, dude, the likelihood of that is absolutely unlikely. But I don't like making commitments of the future. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I couldn't see myself doing that, especially since
Wait a second. These people are disgusting. They're saying they're going to open an unslaved merch store and sell all of things related to me and you. How can anyone else profiteer off me and my life? This is what I mean. It's like if I don't fucking brand and sell merchandise, they're going to go use my name, sell a whole bunch of products with my and everyone's likeness from the broadcast, and that's okay. How is anyone okay with that? Right? If you go do that, how am I not immediately like entitled to at least 50% of that?
Hey,
Talcott isn't a bobblehead without me making him an idol. I've created him into an entity and an idol that you want to now worship, and you think it's about the damn bobblehead. It's the personality behind it and what I've done, the work and the time that I've put in establishing this character and this likeness. How dare you? I'm surprised at you, horde person. He's got great big dreams now. Being a fucking pilot's not. He's flying all over the world, and now this horde guy, he's gonna go make a damn unslaved merch store and profiteer off me and everything I've built.
Okay, now that I know where the ideas are coming from, it makes more sense. I could see that. This is why I oppose capitalism. Because anywhere someone gets an idea to make money off someone else, they're going to do it.
Sickening.
It's sickening.
And then just right away they're seeing dollar signs. Right?
Yep.
He doesn't come to me, right, for a cup of coffee and ask for my friendship. He just says, Don Paulione, I'm going to use your whole likeness and your whole kingdom so I can profiteer. Doesn't even offer me half on the proceeds. I mean, what is this? Crazy. I'm going over to Patreon like Antoine's. You know what? I'm going over. I'm doubling down. I'm going Antoine and even worse, how everyone else does. I'm not even going to be out in the open. You got to like pay me to even see me and hear me, right? And then like you got to sign waivers. So if you steal anything, you can't even do it. This is why, see, Talcott, why we can't do anything in this life?
Oh, there's so many. That could go in so many directions, Paul. Holy cows. Hey, it's stacked against us, and these people.
Wait till this fucking guy makes a whole merch store, and then I make one just to compete with him. And then he has got a whole fucking room full of bullshit that he won't be able to sell. Don't make me do it. Because I'll hand sign everything. I'll get over there with Spokane with Talcott, and me and him will hand sign every piece of memorabilia, and no one will buy your shit. You won't get me and Talcott's signature.
Be stuck with more stuff for the landfill.
Right. With a personalized message too. Imagine a bobblehead signed by Talcott that said, like, get out of your imagination, man.
I'm not sure, but I like the idea. Talcott tithe.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Talcott. Give your speech that you're gonna give now for your tithe program, right? Like you come out, we're at the church, and you gotta like tell everybody how they need to spiritually tithe to you to not be scum.
But they don't. They need to. You know what? There is truth. Partial truths create total confusion, and the confused become obedient slaves. There's truth to the sacrifice, to the giving. Here's one of the most, it seems totally counterintuitive, but money is one of the examples. You start giving it away and it starts showing up. That works with the good things as well as the bad, right? You start offering offering things to the world, and it's going to start coming back to you. So they say. But Paul, my life here, I'm going to be open and honest with you because you accept the weirdness most times. The thought I've been thinking a lot, I look at my life and I'm very aware. I pay close attention, watch for patterns, and I'm constantly asking, why did this happen for me? What am I supposed to learn? What is the lesson for me? And when I see the pattern, then I look at me. Am I doing this? Right? Here's the craziness, though. My life has been so bizarre that the only way I've held my sanity is the belief that, yeah, there's something different. There's something different in this particular path, maybe than others. Because the things just the experiences I've had, dude, tells me there's something greater. The point is, if in fact I'm playing some role to understand and properly relay messages that would be helpful, well, I look at the world and I try and imagine, what is God thinking? And Paul, I know you do the same. John Thomas, how are you today, brother?
What's going on, brother? Man, I just wanted to apologize for yesterday to everybody. Some of the things I said. I figured it'd be a good time, about what I said about Irish people and stuff. I don't hate Irish people. It's just been kind of weighing on me heavy. My paternal mother's grandmother's Irish, so it's just politics, and you know what I mean. And Paul's good at triggering people, but that that is something I've always hated about our history. The involvement and stuff. But I just wanted to come out here and say those things, and I'm not against you, Paul. You know what I mean. I just them days. I think maybe we have them together or something like that.
Sir, there's no apology necessary. You acted like a complete fool and a moron. But you came here today and you recognize that, and you're turning it around, and that's what's most important. So I wasn't offended.
You wasn't offended? Okay. That's good.
No.
I think it's a great idea what you're saying, Paul, about people having to pay to listen to you, or you don't even come on stage and stuff.
Yeah, I was lying about that. I lied.
No. I'm being serious. Because think about it. Right now, what have you actually done with all this? You've gotten together sort of like an actors guild, haven't you? A bunch of people. A lot. We come on here, we have a good time. You know what I mean? And in the end, it's content, it's entertainment, like you said earlier today, right? So that's what we need to be doing, man. We need to be doing our own fan-made shit. You know what I'm saying? And playing ourselves. People would probably pay to see that stream, members only. You know what I mean? Get some virtual escapes and then do some.
Yeah, what's my motivation, dude?
Money. Money. You just said it's all about money.
I understand that, but I'm telling you that I'm not. You're
worried about your branding, your marketing, You need to be doing something.
If
besides
anything,
just criticizing everybody,
I'm not
gaslighting.
Wow. Thank you for noticing. I work hard on that.
And see that
criticizing and gaslighting.
That would come.
What I'm saying to you is, sir, is that I don't want to bring that energy into what I do here, right? If I'm going to make the damn Talcott bobblehead, I'm going to do it because it's funny and it's interesting idea, and we're going to see how many of them sell. It's not going to be to put an extra $300 a month in my pocket off bobbleheads. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'm talking about selling bobbleheads here.
Hey,
about the theater.
John, hold on just a moment, if you will. I get what he's saying, and Paul, how would you feel about kind of playing within the system in order to grow what's
Right.
available? And here's with what I've been trying to figure out too. There's a lot of people that are selling these courses. Everyone's got their way and their methods, but if there is a way, this one of the things I wanted to do was develop a small video course, teach things like meditation, goal setting, how to evaluate, right? Do a self-assessment, and then what to do with that.
Sorry,
I know.
I flashed back to when you failed your own self-assessment, which
but so
boy,
here,
is that going to be hard to get past when you try to do the assessment program with everyone else. Wait, you the guy who failed your own assessment?
Hey, let me toss this. Let me get to the point, get the idea out. Whether it's with I'm proposing this, you and I do something together. Okay?
I'm
Wait
down.
a second.
If Paul's
You
not
should
in, I'll do it.
you should laminate the assessment and sell that.
Well,
Jack Talcott signed laminated assessment, the one he failed, his life coaching assessment.
If we work together, we will entertain all of these ideas. But okay, what I'm talking about is, what if we collaborated some help? There's some creative people, real fucking video talent.
Here we go.
What if we combine some video talent with some wisdom, create some powerful, a short series of videos for the purpose of helping people empower themselves, and then make them available like donation. You offer back what you think it's worth, and we'll, if we could get it made with small cost, then it would be a worthwhile thing for people to go to. And I don't know, there's a lot of things.
People want to be live. People want to be live with you, though, while you're reading it, late at night. They want to be, tucked in and ready for the show. I can write up a big script of things I really want to say to Paul, and he can say something he wants to say to me. And
right, I'm not.
We could actually write a story around that.
One. This is like people.
We could actually write stories around that. Rip off all their shit.
John Thomas,
I don't
that
respect
beard thing you got going on, dude. It's like growing under your chin sticking out, but the beard's behind it. How do you do that?
It's just my chin sticks out, brother. I don't know how I'm doing it.
I'm a beard man. I just, everyone has their own beard ways. I think Talcott to dye it. Just like
it's a
but
funny
I gotta say
chin.
something.
My whole
I find
head's
it interesting.
crooked.
The one thing I'm going to stand up for Paul on is Paul's been 100 with all you guys about like his vision, what he's doing, and going with the flow. And that's one of the things I do respect about him when it comes down to the whatever. I'm not against people monetize, making money. I know what comes with that. I know the struggles and the temptations and what happens and the open back door, so to speak. But it's funny because mostly it's usually the creators who are all about it, blah, blah. So one thing I do notice different, and that's something all you guys like you, John Thomas, Talcott, and some of you guys should know, is what he's actually doing has a lot more respect for some of us than a lot of you guys who are trying to say, hey, change it up, do this, do that. Man, yeah. Paul, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people who watch you who do respect the fact that, when you talk about that whole situation, you're being humble and real about it versus straight up money back.
I already told you, Snafu Snaps, I may have a very low standard for what is acceptable for making a living. And I already have everything I need and then some. I'm not needy and wanting.
And I respect that, especially on this platform, man, especially with what you create. And it's funny because I see people like John Thomas and Talcott and all these people.
Snafu.
Big ideas.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your big ideas. SJ, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing well, Jack Talcott. How are you? And how has your day been for you?
It's been a blessing. It has been a blessing.
And then what are you grateful for today?
Dude, I am so grateful for life, honestly. And not here, I don't want to be rude to John and Paul. I'm not sure where it was you were talking about where you'd badmouthed Irish. I don't remember that being
It
here,
was
but
on yesterday. No, it was yesterday. It was horrible
okay.
outburst, but
Well,
you know, Paul
I
brought it
respect
on. I think legitimately.
I respect owning it. Okay, because here's for those who don't know, be warned. Paul and I tend to trigger egos, and
And how you doing, Unslavius and John Thomas?
How do you do, sir?
Bless, sir.
we have
It's just
Hecklebuck.
Paul. I think about this. 10 years from now, are we still looking at the same Paul unslaved? Probably not. Whenever
I
you're
don't-
43, 40, whatever. So this is going to have to change one day, anyways, isn't it? Or
I
is
don't know
this going
what
to be
that
so
means.
old?
Or I'm not sitting
This
here
whole
living
routine-
through.
Your whole routine will get so old in 10 years. You got to know that.
Okay.
10 years, they're going to be saying, he's still doing it. Same old.
Yeah, life doesn't
didn't-
usually work like that.
Yeah.
Well, here
You're already
actually,
aggravating the hell out of people.
I'm supposed to be aggravating people. That's what gets people talking. You just still don't get that?
No, yeah.
that's one
Right.
way.
I think it backfires
What
more.
we're supposed to do, what
It doesn't
here,
backfire. It
We're not-
backfires on those who are insensitive and don't understand the game and don't understand life.
No, I think you come out of character and make it personal if it's just a bit and all
Hey,
that
John,
all
It's
the
not
time.
about a bit. It's
Hold
a bit
on,
non-bit.
I got to interject here. John Thomas, do you know that you're on? This is Jack's channel, not
Right.
Paul's platform.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so are you here just to talk to Paul, or
Pretty
are you
much.
here
No,
to
no.
maybe
I
contribute to
was
what we're
to
doing?
say, yeah. I'm trying to contribute. No, I'm
Okay.
trying to contribute.
Just wanted to. All right, I'd love.
I mean, I
that.
just seen Paul here, and then I remember you popped in on the panel yesterday. I figure you knew what I was talking about with all the hollering and the yelling. So I figured it'd be a good place, good time. Don't let too much time go by.
You know, the one thing I do agree on the topic is you got to monetize as much as you can these days. Monetize, you got to make money. You know what I mean? Money is the tool that you can use to broadcast your signal better. Now, you could do it for free. You can stand on the corner. You can talk to people on the corner all you want for free. Or you can buy yourself a computer that costs money, and you get on StreamYards, and you can talk to 17 people, and some of people, 100 people, 16,000 people in some cases. Monetize as much as you can, and there is people out there who have enough money that you haven't met that want to help the community grow, and do not deny them the chance and the ability to feel good about how they help the community. Like, you never know who's going to be in your chat that just got a freaking lottery, who's got an extra $10,000, who's willing to freaking give it to you. And the only way you're going to do that is spreading the word and letting you know, like, there's a chance out there that we can grow as a community, but it's going to take funding. So
Right, I've
monetize as much as you can.
I've experienced all this, but I didn't have to monetize. I learned after monetizing that you really didn't have to do that. That's what everyone else does and says. You create enough value in yourself and you bring that to the world every day, it will come back. It's a law, right? And it's just how.
I don't know.
What?
I've seen a lot of people put a lot of energy into
Are
something.
you? Is someone? Yeah. Who was that? Am I losing my mind?
I burped silently, brother. I didn't make no noise.
What are you hearing?
Oh, I have someone on my side yelling and screaming. Sir, just come to
I hear
Talcott's
crackling.
area. That's how this works. Thank you. Thank you. I'm hearing voices in my head, and I'm thinking I finally cracked while I'm explaining to Simple Jack that we don't have to haul
Unslavius
ourselves
has
out to
lost
make
it.
money.
We've witnessed Unslaving losing his mind. I'm joking.
Yeah, what else is new, right?
It is
So
with
yeah, again, we're
California
back to pimping.
too.
If you are the value, if you put that out and you change lives and you lead, you will get value back. I didn't have to monetize or sell a motherfucking thing. I turned it all down and did better than a lot of folks who took all the opportunity.
I would say that's
Hey,
right in some sense, but I've seen a lot of people put a lot more energy into YouTube and not get in return what I've gotten. So I don't know.
Okay,
Like,
so
I've seen
are
a lot
you
of
willing
people.
to talk about that?
What do you mean?
Like when you say get what you've gotten, are you willing to speak on it?
What's the question better? Like for example, like I've only spent $700 on my streaming equipment, while people have spent thousands, and I'm already monetized.
I understand, but I'm asking what's the substantiality of the monetization? If we're talking numbers, talk to numbers.
What do you mean? Like I went from a business that cost me money to a business that's profitable.
I'm asking you, what are you profiting? Are you willing to speak on the numbers?
Right now, I've made $500 in profits since I started my channel.
How long have
has
you
it
been
been?
up?
3 months
Sir,
for
please.
just for gaming. I'm a gamer.
Right. So
Yes.
this is not enough to make a living on.
It's a start to a vehicle that I can eventually move forward to. I don't understand. Like, all right, so do you understand what it costs to start a small business? Right. So my overhead is $500 to $600. That's it, starting cost. I don't pay rent. I don't pay all these other fees. Like my business is the most actually, like if you think about the metrics, the most successful way to run a business. Like I don't understand, Paul. Are you trying
I
to
agree
like
with you.
debate a point or something
I
here?
agree
Like,
with
but
what you're saying, but it's not concordant with what you just said. You made a statement as if other people coming into this could quit their job for 3 months and do broadcasting.
I didn't say
and
quit your job. I didn't say quit your job. You said, where are you
Well,
going
if you're
with this,
going to
Paul?
run a business, then I mean, are folks going to work 8-10 hour days and then come home and broadcast? They could do it if they did
I do
limited.
that, Paul.
I'm not. I don't know why you're being adversarial. I'm just saying that
Because
the
your
first.
questions are not going. Anyways, Jack, how you doing, man? Like this guy's not getting
So
anywhere.
you won't ever even take a conversation through completely with me without deflecting and diverting into some coping mechanism you do where you act like a bitch and just ignore what's being said. I don't understand that. I was simply asking you a question. You said lots of people are doing this. No one's gotten what I've gotten to. That was the statement you made. Then you said $500 in 3 months.
No, your questions.
Was I off on
I asked
anything
for
there?
no. I asked for a better question, Paul, and you still haven't asked a better question.
Right.
That's my point. Like I can't answer a stupid question.
Here's what I'm
Try again,
here's what
please.
SJ, here's what I'm seeing. I mean, with all due respect, Paul, you've got a method of trying to determine the source of the information more than accepting the information. And so what I see you trying to do is qualify. Is SJ qualified to say that money can be made on YouTube? Well, if he hasn't made it yet and I haven't made it yet, you don't want to hear what we have to say.
Right. So you're talking on
God
something
help
like
us
you've
when
done
you
it,
guys
you
get a
haven't
taste
done
of
it, and you're talking to other people who've done
Right.
it, and you're not listening
We're
to the way
just-
that it could be done.
No, that's not the narrative. I mean,
Okay.
your narrative, it's the right facts, but it's not accurate.
Okay. So he said he put in $700 and other people haven't done what he's done, and he says $500 in 3 months is worth running his business. Now, I'm not saying there's not potential to it and that it could grow and grow and grow like anything else. I'm just saying why you would choose to do a broadcast that you say you're doing what no one else is doing by 500 in 3 months when you could start a lemonade stand and exponentially do better.
There's
and have,
value
like,
in
direct
there's
interactions
value
with
in how you spend your time. And
Yeah,
if
he
you're
says he
doing
plays
things-
games and he talks about playing
Right.
games, and he's a grown man.
Right. Hey,
So is it worth wasting your time, energy, attention to play video games and
Paul.
talk about it for $500
Paul.
every 3 months if that's your
hey,
goal
Paul. Hey,
to
Paul.
be monetarily successful?
I'm about
Yes, Paul. It is.
Okay.
is.
Shows
There's
how little your
Are
time
you
is
doing
worth.
any other platforms, Simple Jack, or just you? Are you
Yeah.
twitching? Are you do like cross-platforming?
Good question.
Not
Right
good
now,
money, dude. I mean,
right
people are
now-
making like I said, I've been in this game a long time. I know gamers, non-gamers, podcast, and 3 months, $500. I mean, I don't know what your algorithm. Are you cross streaming like on Twitch and all the other ones for gamers to increase your funds?
I've just started this, and I'm just getting into it. And I will be cross streaming in the future, but right now I'm solely focused on YouTube because this is what I've put my most time and energy in. But I do have the ability to cross-platform.
I would recommend cross-platforming if that is your goal, the money-wise. Again, though, I see where Paul's coming from because you can make money Like, that's not really that good. Like, once these people get a taste of money, dude, it's bad. Like, OTW was one of the first I saw. Like, when you see these people get a taste of turning on their camera and making a little coin, you could tell sometimes the change or the like the passion. Like, ooh,
everything you're saying is absolutely right.
It's kind of crazy to watch.
I appreciate suggesting to multicast and pay attention to what money can do to you. Yeah, that totally. It is a great suggestion. Thank you.
Well,
but do you play games anyways? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I play Battlefield.
Right. I mean, but you'd be doing that anyways, I assume.
Right, and now I'm making money doing that.
See?
So it's not a waste. Like, most people play video games and don't make any money.
What makes you think
Zero.
that most people play video games as grown men?
Take the
Most
word
successful people.
Because analytics prove it, Paul.
I mean,
You think
Twitch
that most
is what known
successful
for what?
people play video
Twitch,
games?
Twitch is known for what, Paul? For gaming. XQC just made $100 million in 2 years.
Right.
What kind of
I
metrics
thought you
do I
was
need to tell
always-
you about gaming, dude? Like, I appreciate your conversation, Paul, but I'm going to stick to just listening to Jack because your questions aren't
I'm sure you
go
are.
nowhere, bro. Like,
I know,
you're supposed to
bro.
be educated in the truth, and you don't know anything about
I know, bro.
economy.
well, here,
Grown
let's,
successful men spend a lot of their time playing video games. That's
Paul,
the
I
narrative.
thought you play
No,
games
no,
while
no.
you're listening. And
Successful
stuff
men
sometimes.
spend their time building a business when they're not working a 40-hour job. They're doing something like what you're doing is working. I'm working, Paul. When I'm putting in 80 hours a week. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're saying I'm playing a video game, but I'm technically working.
Yeah,
Right.
and the kid that sat
Okay.
there and spent 80 hours a week playing those video games when he was a kid while the doctors claimed he had ADHD proves that he didn't have ADHD. So just sitting there playing games doesn't prove that you're working either. Get it?
But when you have income, it does. Get it?
Yeah, okay. Are you paying taxes?
Can we get back to my
Yes.
idea, please?
Google
This is the most
AdSense and
bizarre
YouTube.
logic ever. So if you're getting paid, you're always working,
Tell
right?
you
No matter
what,
what you're doing.
That's how. Never
Tell
mind,
you
Paul.
what.
You do not understand business or economics. But back to Jack.
Clearly, I don't understand life, but you do.
let's stop. Take a break. Okay, we're going to come back to the present. We're not in competition with each other. We're not fighting for survival or hierarchy. Okay? I was thinking about this earlier, our lives, each and every one of our lives. I said this before, everything is up to you. Everything you believe, everything you think is up to you. Now, to bring that into context, what I was thinking about is I was watching YouTube and there's some fascinating people, very, very talented people. There's people that got up today that are committed to their life of being a clown. They're professional clowns and they love making people laugh, and this is what they find. They're just filled with joy. And do they know they're slaves? Probably not. But they're happy and they're finding fulfillment and they're finding joy in being themselves. And then there's other people. There's other people alive today that think, well, they're in danger, armed and fucking, wearing battle fatigues. They are literally fighting for their lives today because of what they chose to believe in and from the past and the experience they led themselves on. Right now, today, we've got people who think enforcing the laws, evicting that tenant from the property that they haven't been able to pay for. There's people who think all sorts of shit is important today. But our life is all built on what we think is important. I think you guys are important. I think I'm important. I think our future is of utmost importance. So this topic of gaming and compensation has started because, money is a helpful tool in this day and age that we survive in. I hold the mindset of kind of what SJ was describing, though, that I don't know who's listening. I don't know who might listen to this stream may show up on someone's feed 2 weeks from now, and they resonate with what they hear, and they're like, holy shit, this guy Jack, let's get him some money. Let's see what we see what he could do if he could hire support. You know, anything is possible. And there are ways, Paul, there's ways to monetize without selling out. And I honestly think if you can create a consistent automated revenue stream, that's the stuff I've been studying, dude. This marketing that coaches use, the funnel systems.
Right. And it's another shortcut for life that even if you pass the test and ace it, you cheat yourself out of a result.
Who says that? What explain that?
I'm
That
giving
makes
you my
more
perspective.
sense.
I'm trying. I will. Are you getting angry? I'm giving you my perspective on what I've learned from all sides doing this.
Okay.
This is what people go to do in every situation when they don't have rights, freedom, principles, won't stand on them. They go to a system to shortcut it. Doesn't work. When they can't find financial freedom and independence through the passion and doing what they love and being good at it and giving value, they go to some automated system to try to generate value.
Paul,
if you are the value and you bring the value comes back. Simple.
Paul, you're totally not understanding what I'm saying. So you're presenting a conclusion.
Maybe I'm not.
You're ready to fight for what you believe in, and you don't even fucking know what I'm talking about. It's hilarious, but it's not funny.
You just said that. I didn't say it was supposed to be funny. Does it look like I'm laughing? He's now laughing when you say it's not funny. I'm not cracking jokes here.
It wasn't funny until just then. See this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? The clowns are out there, like Jack said, and the medium that they want is what Paul's bringing. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. How does that make any sense? So now we're doing the talking about me without talking to me. So when he says the clown, it's understood that that's me, and I'm catering to a certain venue of people.
Listen, what happens is people have a lot of things they want to say to you, right? You're good at getting people's, feathers riled up.
The truth is good at that, sir. Haven't you noticed?
And and you see how riled up I get you when the time comes. The truth is good at that. But what I'm saying is, the point is you already got it going on. You're great at memeing everything. You see what I mean? You got that talent. Me, you know what I mean? I don't really have the capacity or you know what I mean? I could come in behind somebody like you know what I mean?
I don't accept that. I don't accept that. There was a time where I would have said the same thing and I'd have been wrong. So whatever it is you see in me, I may not even see in myself as much as you and others see it. I just do what's apparent to me and I flow from a heart space a lot of the time. Whatever that looks like.
We need to just start ripping off all their shit was what I was trying to say. Whatever show they come out with, we need to just
all I was trying to get to, which
because they're using
all I was trying to get to, which apparently is never well received, is that I believe there's a place for Jack, Flow State, Simple Jack, Snafu, and John Thomas, and everyone else to create a version of themselves true to self or truer than it is now, right? Or take the self and the value you see in self, bring that to the world every day, show it for yourselves and others, and you will see results.
I've got
to work it like a process.
Listen, I've got a whole primary mission I'm on right now. This is something I'm talking about doing for fun, brother. I don't even want the money. You know what I mean?
I didn't tell you to do it for the money. I didn't come into this looking for money.
Hey,
well, you're saying go do this, go do that. I got something big time I'm fixing to unveil. You're acting like I ain't doing nothing.
I really want to, John, with all due respect, I mean, you and Paul can take your conversation back to his platform politely, Jack, if you're willing, because Paul's he's not interested in discussing the ideas that you brought up that I resonate with about, producing some content. Live. And I know you're all over Paul to get Paul's content out, but guess what? I've got my own value I'm trying to get out. And while you guys are doing your shit and disrespecting me,
disagree, brother. You let Paul and Freddie's side chats go on for a long time. You let Paul
Go ahead. Enjoy your You're right. You're right. I did allow Paul and Fireside to go on for a long time. So should I remove Paul since he's the common denominator now? That seems to be the more logical
The
conclusion.
executor Talcott, thumbs up or down? All dare who disrespect Talcottism.
You know, I'm with you on that, Jack. If Paul don't want no part of it, we got everybody we need, right? I mean, I'm just saying he'd be a start.
Yeah,
That's
I
all I'm
think you're
saying.
trying to be.
So we're on
He
board
could
with
be,
that.
but he
Good to
doesn't
know.
want it.
Once
He's
again,
got all these problems. All
I don't know.
these
Once
complaints.
again, I want the group here, after I just talked about flowing from a heart space, to go ahead and sign on to having me thrown out, because I'm the common denominator speaking a real authentic.
I'll make the choice myself.
I didn't.
I don't need opinions to make a reasoned choice. And if anyone has questions, I find that while Paul he does bring value, the constant agitation and the constant confrontation, the conflicts, I find those to be unhealthy, unhelpful, and not really
I got a question,
appropriate
Mr.
to what I'm
Talcott.
trying to do.
I got a question,
Pardon?
Mr. Talcott. Before we get excommunicated, can you give us like a thumbs halfway up or down so we know we're
One of
about to be
these?
like, yeah, one of those. Yeah, what Flo did. Because then we know to back off and go, because, if the dictator is going to dictate us, we got to know before we get dictated. And I think the thumbs up, thumbs down would be a good way.
Fair enough. That's a reasonable presentation.
I'm resonating with what you're saying, that energy, like you say, but just like you said, Jack, the world right now is a bunch of clowns, and we have to acclimate them. That energy you're talking about that Paul's throwing out, they actually love. You know what I mean? That's what'll get them in there.
Slaves love conflict. They're so entertained by complaints and by gossip. That's why there's the media we've got. Slaves love this shit. They'll sit and watch conflicts for hours and hours. And what I see more as value, the goal I hope this channel to develop in is eventually I'll come on with a refined message. We'll present something brief and short, powerful, and continue on. Maybe open up for those who want some direct help, some direct support. But that will happen as people start to see the value that I offer, rather than just a place for Paul to fucking piss all over. And you know what? Let me not be so derogatory, because Paul, that was disrespectful based on the recent past. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect what you've been doing.
The optics are high.
Guys, believe me or not, my goals of trying to bring world peace, why are Christians not demanding peace as well? I mean, to walk in Christ is to follow the Lord of peace, the one of truth, the one of love, to commit oneself to others, to being of service to the world. Money is a byproduct that I've proven I can live without.
But you could have more impact with it.
Absolutely. And eventually,
no reason.
this panel will be filled with people who want Jack and Live Without Fear to succeed. And then, holy shit, there will be more people talking about how much potential and what could be accomplished with some support. You're absolutely right, Flo.
And Christianity is a passive religion. That's why Christians aren't clamoring for anything, because all they have to do is believe something and then they're set.
Just depends on which denomination, what they got you doing.
You
know
know
what I mean? Any given time, you're mobilized or told to shut up. That is true. I mean,
John, where we're at, the divisions are many. We can all blame different things, because all of us have had different experiences and see different things. Blame and excuses does us absolutely no good.
we got to take it over, man. That's what I'm saying. People don't want to watch them no more. They want to watch us. That's what I think.
Oh no! It's about
Hey,
Yeah.
the rant. Okay, Mister. Hello, victim. Me too. I see you're here.
Who are you talking about?
Jack, this is your new buddy. He's the Black Me Too cupcake victim. You and him, you could coach him. He needs a life coach. This man
Well,
needs a
hey,
life coach bad.
snafu,
And Jack Talcott,
I have a
Talcott
few
is.
things.
Hey,
I have a
hello,
few
people.
things I have to
Talcott is
say.
going to help you.
snafu.
I have a few things I have to say.
That's amazing. You see now, Talcott, if you would just go along with the Unslavia network and its suggestions, you'd be way better off instead of fighting the current like everyone likes to do to try to find their own way in this world. Much as I respect their enthusiasm, right?
I have a few
you
things
have
I
to
have to
bend the
say.
knee sometimes. So thumbs up and thumbs down. Great concept. Perfect for the Talcottian kingdom.
Hey, I have a few
Yes.
things I have to say, right? So
You better start holding your
This-
thumb
this-
up, Talcott, with this one.
Hold on.
so this
Hold on, please.
hold on.
Yes, thank you for pausing. Okay, and that actually showed something there. Okay, so thank you for pausing. I've seen your conversations and I've seen the way you present yourself, and from what I've seen, it has been respectful. I don't want this to deteriorate. So if you're coming here with things to offer, please be mindful.
In
I
other
don't
words,
know you.
all the
I
black
don't know if
are not just
I don't know if
victims.
I'm coming with things
Black,
to
blue, red,
offer.
green,
but-
every color. Mr. Hello, people.
All right, so
That's what
let
Mr.
me
Talcott said.
let me get into it. So for number one, he said Christians aren't peaceful. I don't know what the hell you're saying, bro. This majority of this country is Christian, and if we wanted to, we could literally take over whenever we wanted to. Like we could destroy whoever we wanted to on any given day. All the black, white, Asian, Latina Christians came
Who are you
together. This
talking
country.
to?
No,
What-
I'm
Are
just
you
saying.
fucking drinking some
No,
Kool-Aid?
I'm saying, hold on, let me go. I'm saying this notion that we're not peaceful because what we say we don't like homosexuality here and there. That's it. That's not peaceful. We don't just go outside and kill people like we could really just destroy. We could do whatever we wanted if we wanted to, but we're nice.
you
We go
speaking
to
for
church
all
on
Christians?
Sundays. We
Hold
nice.
on.
We go to church on Sundays. We read the Bible. We have kids. Like we don't really
Wait.
do nothing. That's like
Hello, people. Whoa.
go.
You're describing imagined people, and I don't understand why. What?
Jack,
So
I
you're
told
in
you he needs
defense.
a life coach.
Trying
That's
to
why.
present. Hold on, you're trying to present the claim that Christians are today are for peace.
If we wasn't, bro, it wouldn't be like if we wasn't, you would know we. If you would
That's
see
right.
it.
Wait. I'm sorry. You're the guy that thinks Trump did a good job or is a good choice too, aren't you?
Make
Yeah,
make
he's a
America
Trump
great
Trump
like
again.
you?
Make
Is
America
Trump
great
Christian
again.
like you? I spoke.
You bet.
Over
Hey,
you. I'm
you got
sorry.
thumbs up me, but he says that shit. Damn, Jack, you didn't learn how to use that thumb.
I didn't hear what he said. So
I said make America great again.
okay. So is he the type of Christian you're talking about?
No,
Good question.
I'm talking about the majority of white people, the majority of not regular people that
The
that just go to
Christians-
work, that
so
go
the
to work, they
Christians like
take care of
you
their
that
kids.
supported
They
Trump?
go. Hold on, let me go, Jack. They go to work, they take care of their kids, they pay taxes, they start a family, and they just that's it. they might vote
hello?
Republican.
I'm
You're
going to
good
take
for those
over
things.
here. I'm going to take over here and thank you. What you described is probably pretty accurate. And here's a way to explain what we're seeing. The Abrahamic traditions have been misinterpreted and taught to separate, and the Christians today have become the slaves to the original supposed chosen people. Can you see
hijacked
that narrative?
by Solomon. Hijacked. All that shit's hijacked, brother. All
Do you know
those
what's funny
denominations.
is
Islam,
when other
Christianity.
countries, You know what's funny is when other countries like China or fucking the Muslims, and if we were ever to get invaded, they're gonna slaughter even the good Christians because we're tolerant to what other religions aren't tolerant to. So you act
That's what
like
I'm
these
saying.
Christians
Like
are
you gotta
talking about
understand.
follow their faith and their Bible and da 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 da. But
You have to
really,
understand.
Throw the
Majority
thumb,
of
Jack. Throw the thumb.
Yeah, Snafu, you're like right there, man.
I don't know
okay,
what.
I'll just say
And you
make
don't
America
you
great
don't
again then. Make America great again, Jack. Go make it purse.
know. Here's why you don't know. And actually, here's why, and you don't know why you're so close. I said something that I really want people to consider. Okay. But instead of my words being considered, it's an immediate deflection into another argument. What I am saying is that most of the teachings have trained people to feel helpless and hopeless, waiting for some imagined being to come and save them. And in the
Consider the
meantime,
ants.
they become enablers and making excuses for, well, the supposed Christian president that we've had.
I strongly disagree. I strongly
In which
disagree.
part? Which part?
I think what you just said. Christians aren't, bro. Like Christians aren't the people you're talking about. Like most Christians are providers. Like they provide. They work hard.
Okay.
Like Christians aren't the people that's complaining and they sitting there and they saying I'm oppressed.
Bro,
And they're
what do you claim as Christian? That's like a whole fucking. That's such a broad term, dude. That's beyond
Christian
term.
is, and this is what Christian is. Christian isn't, I believe in Jesus Christ. Because there's a lot of strippers and escorts, they believe in Jesus Christ. Christian is,
Right, you think those strippers and hoes are going to heaven? And you're according to the Bible, according to your word?
You didn't let me talk, bro. Like I didn't, like you just, I would have answered that for you. I would have answered that.
I'd like to have
So
some
with a
conversation.
Christian, it's people that believe in God. Y'all call them Christians. That's not what a Christian is. People that believe in God, you could believe in Jesus Christ and not be a Christian. I think people just say they're a Christian if they believe in Jesus Christ. A lot of bad people believe in Jesus Christ. That's not what a Christian is. A Christian is, I put him before myself. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not it's people that believe in Jesus. Everybody in the hood believe in Jesus, bro. Black people are the most religious people on the planet by far. Like by far. And they do what we kill each other the most, we rob each other the most because they don't put Jesus before themselves. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times when people be like, I believe in Jesus, y'all be like, oh, he's a Christian. No, that's not a Christian. He just believes in Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
Let me I see your disagreement with me, and you're presenting the defense of the Christian. And please, I don't want my words to be, it's easy for me to misspeak. There are obviously many good Christians. There's many damn good people who do represent the Christian faith. Well, in my own personal life, I didn't meet any good examples. I didn't recognize any good examples of Christians until my 40s. Okay, so for you to say that, well, for me, there's good and bad, but here's the thing: we can move beyond the divisions.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
And two, this is what I've been saying. I believe this is the time. If Christians came together and said, hey, no more. We will no longer consent to corruption and immorality in our governments. We will no longer.
But that would be bad for a lot of people if that happened. I know that.
Why would that be
That's
bad?
already happened, brother. That's
no,
already happened.
That hasn't happened. Maybe I don't know when. Not since I've been alive, bro.
They've been good together the last 3 years.
No, you have never seen that. If all Christians came together, bro, you don't know how many Christians it is. I think
it's all. Let me ask you something. It's all under the standard of David. They're all together. Islam, Christianity, Rabbinicism.
No,
There's the one
no,
key
no,
factor.
no. What I'm saying, no.
David
What he's
is the
saying,
key.
he's saying
They're
like
all
literally
together.
came. No, he's saying like literally came together. Not like, and that's he's saying like if we all like really came together and said we not going for this no more. That's what Jack
They
talking
already
about.
did it. It was the Vatican that rolled out the shots. They printed out
Bro, you're being delusional right now.
memorial coins with people getting shots.
Christians have never came together, bro. Christians is leading like it
Christians,
has never happened.
that is the history of Christianity. They have never come together.
We talking about right
They've
now.
had
We talking
it
about in
had
America right
denominational
now.
I
wars.
disagree.
Hey, bro, we
They,
talking about in
there's
America right
Catholicism and there's Protestantism.
What is
The main
John
thing always
Calvin.
stays the main thing.
hold
And
on,
it's
Bro.
stay away from David, stay away from Solomon. They rule
holy
us.
cow.
Bro, if
Guys,
Christians came together, it would be no. If Christians came,
holy cows. I appreciate that this is an open panel. Okay, I appreciate that everyone has their opinions, and particularly when we get into this, it can bring up a lot of feelings. But we can argue all day and all night and accomplish nothing. Here's the reality. If Christians were Christians, they would be together as a body of Christ. But since there's confusion about what all of this stuff means, the division has been continuing.
I strongly disagree.
Hey, hold on.
I just
Well,
don't. I don't think.
Tell you what,
I
if
agree
you
with
want to
Jack.
disagree, go ahead and listen in from the back or from the chat. Aaron is another man who knows that this is the time that we are here to bring the change.
Jack, I'm so proud of you, brother. I just got to say, you stepping forth and creating this channel as you have to inspire what you just described is to me the ultimate like alpha omega male that Paul's talked about in the past. And you know, it's time for that, isn't it? Aren't we men ready to show up in a unified force in the highest laws of the land, air, and water and deliver on what it truly means to be a man?
You have to show up in the individual force before you show up as unified. And that's the only way that unification can ever work, is if everybody is there individually first and foremost. Because if you start with a group, you're going to have infiltration happen. That's the Achilles heel of all group efforts, is infiltration and sabotage.
All I know is that I showed up not to be a leader here. I know that. And I think some people show up with their own agenda, and it's like, you're in someone else's house, dude. Respect that.
Totally. I love that respect, brother. But Jack, you know, back to like your vision to me, brother, has so inspired me, because when you told me, brother, that you're into really meeting with the most powerful leadership on earth to restore the lawful living that peace on earth is, I'm like, dude, you're the guy I'm looking for. Like, you're the guys are as many of us who are willing to do this. Like, that's who I'm looking for. And so, brother, I would love to just invite you to, you know, maximize the potential of this platform you've created to really make that a reality. And we can do that. I know we can do that here. And all it takes is for us men to practice being truly noble men, which is what we're created to be.
May I speak on that then?
Yes, please.
Because if we're going to go to the people that have power, why are we going to the leaders that the people elected through their power? Shouldn't we be going to the people?
That's
well,
what
I love that question. That's a really good question. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't mean to answer for you. I feel that's what we're doing here. The people is a path to where they've given their power away to.
Yeah, totally, Jack. I agree, man. And this is what's so powerful, you all, about this. You know, we've got, I have said playfully, and it's very factual, we've got Rupert Murdoch power in our pockets these days with our devices. And Jack, like, this platform you're facilitating here, and anyone's really, has infinite potential. And all it takes, y'all, just like what Paul was saying earlier, when you bring the value shows up. And see, this platform we could use to demonstrate our true, like, Jack was saying earlier, Christ-like or even Christed nature, which is true nobility, and really give our souls to, I didn't notice the name of the brother who was speaking about how we're to really give or put Christ first. Brother, you nailed it, because that when we put Christ first, all we speak are lawful godly words, and that's all we're here to speak as human sun gods of work.
Amen.
How do we
John,
Why don't
maximize the
you just
potential,
speak
brother?
the words instead of, putting a co-revolutionary as a godhead? Why don't you just speak the words of God directly as opposed to putting in intermediaries?
I love
what?
that, brother. That's a great upgrade. I'm down, because brother, it's we establish, like, in lawful terms, we establish our status and standing by standing in our status, and that's presence. And so I love what you just said, brother.
There you
I'm
go.
down. Let's just be the body of God that we are, because that's what we are.
Yeah.
Well, what I know, what I trust is it's up to each of us to stop imagining a separation.
Yes.
Stop imagining a separation from God. Stop imagining reasons to feel separated from each other, because in the end, all of our thoughts, all of our feelings are in the eternal moment of now.
Yes.
Now is when we live. So we can talk about what we want to do in the future, but unless we're doing things, it'll never happen.
Yes.
I admit I've been talking and I'm trying to accomplish things. This is our lifetime together, brothers and sisters. And if we can find ways to come together, to work together for a greater good, and it doesn't have to be a greater perfection. We don't have to, if we just believe we can do more, we will. It's as simple as that.
So check it out. You're so right, Jack. And let's feel this. Like, just imagine us, because we're in this really public platform, with the opportunity to influence the most powerful leaders there are, which we all have, because it is through this gift of Christ-like presence that actually does attract the highest value on earth, because there is no higher value than truly Christed embodied consciousness. And when we bring forth the greatest good that God's law is, which is the supreme sovereign law of land, air, air and water, then we're bringing lawful living. We're presencing that right here.
Well, yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. I agree, and I don't mean to bring a disagreement to you, Aaron. By the way, John Thomas, I keep muting you just because you're in nature, dude, and I'm a little jealous, but it's coming through quite a bit in the sound.
Oh, you're hearing those locusts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's why I muted you up. That's all right.
They have those here.
Aaron,
Turn it down.
Regarding the dude, I'm muting you. The laws of God.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to be disagreeable, but I know we can all do more. And the law of God for everyone, it is so simple. It is love. Now, maybe you don't understand love, but you may not even believe in love. Maybe you have a distorted view of love, but love, God speaks to us through time, the energies and the knowledge, the lessons, they're revealed through symbols and signs. And we learn the symbols and signs through time. But I am absolutely convinced God is the truth. Okay? So worship the truth. Figure out what that means. Worship what is true. And the only thing I can know for sure is right now. I don't trust my memories. I don't believe my imagination. I worship now as though it is God try to keep it in my mind, in my thoughts, and then love. The Spirit of Christ is love. It is always there for us. It's up to us to accept divine love, divine faith. It's there for us to receive.
Yes.
Hey, Aaron, I made a note the other day and I didn't write down the scripture, but the idea was how God serves. I mean, if Jesus was the embodiment of God in the ark, just in the story, how did Jesus live? He lived serving. He was selfless, constantly leading, teaching, reassuring, encouraging. That's what God wants for us.
Amen,
God's
brother.
there to heal us. God's there to serve us. God's there to teach us.
Amen.
So I never thought about that, Jack. That God actually works for you every day by creating the path that choosing the path for you when you put Him in front of you. Like I never thought about actually how much work He does if He does that for every individual that puts God before Him, and then we don't see it because He's just clearing the path for us. It's like we're just walking. Like just like a lab, yellow lab, just through the fucking through the fucking flowers when He's clearing the path for us and we don't even recognize it, and people are asking, well, why doesn't God do this? Why doesn't God do that? I'm like, bro, He's already doing a lot. I'm sorry He wasn't able to get on your checklist.
Faith
I'm sorry.
without works is dead works. Faith without works is dead faith.
Right.
It's true.
What's the point of believing something if you're not going to do anything about it? Which brings me to my purpose. I believe our governments have been corrupted. I believe our economic system works to the detriment of progress and the detriment of humanity. So, since I believe those things, what am I going to do about it? For a little while, I got pissed, and then I got angry, and now I have faith, because I think God might feel the same way, because I stand strongly in what is true. We are, each of us, we are the living truth of us, our experience. And that is what God is. God is the living truth, that it's within and around everything. And my life gave me this blessing, this experience of there was no other logical conclusion that made sense to me. So far, it's only my perspective, but I have to humble myself that there is a spirit greater than me that has been keeping me safe, bringing me the answers, bringing me what I need. Because if you can do that, try this in your own life. When you notice something is bothering you, you're worried, afraid, something in your life, you're uncertain about how to fix it, a relationship, whatever. If you can convince yourself the answer will come, well, it probably will. The answers to our problems are there. It's a matter of us bringing ourselves to the answer. And so if you can allow yourself start small, give some faith to God and to your spirit that I trust that if I don't worry about this, it's all going to work out. That, well, be careful with that. Well, you do what you can. We can't control the results. But the results, we have to believe that the results are achievable. We have to believe that happiness and peace and joy, prosperity, abundance, we have to believe those things are available. And then can come the next step. How hard is it going to be? Because things do require sacrifice and commitment, and We've got to be able to learn into the things we want to achieve.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How you doing, Joe?
Great
Jack,
job, Jack. That was awesome.
you went off into a thing, Jack, a little while ago. You said, yes, the government, I believe the government has been corrupted and so and so. What do I do now? I think that's what you said. Then you sidetracked into something else. I just wanted you to hear. Wanted to hear you say the government's corrupt. What do you do now? The government is corrupt. Yeah. What do we do? What do you do? What do we do? Whatever. But I want that thought train. I'm sorry.
I want to confront it. I want to confront the corruption, and I don't know all the details, and I don't feel I need to know all the details, because the people who could be confronted, they will know. And
We'll see.
and
You don't need the details, Jack, if I may, because you're not alone. It's like 9 motherfuckers up here. Everybody chips in, and then you come up with a plan. It ain't all on your shoulders, blah, blah, blah. You got assets here. And it's a we thing, right?
no. Well,
Yeah.
actually, yes. And this is what I believe we can achieve this. Confront the corruption. The corruption is in the system. The systems, the way man's laws have been written, they have created incentives for people to willingly corrupt themselves.
Very good. Is that dude still up here? Hold on. Yeah, he's up here. What is his name? John Thomas. When you say, ain't you got a comment on that, John? You were saying some shit about that yesterday about the corrupt system, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think there's any saving them. I think that, like Jack says, it'd be nice if we could get their spirit to repent and stuff. I think also, like Jack says, God's angry and they're about to be attacked. You know what I mean? When I see my tattoos on my head and my hands and shit,
Yeah.
I put that on there in 2008. You know what everybody told me? I
Yeah.
said, because of the laws of Moses. I said, well, they said, well, laws of Moses, and I said, yeah, it says in Numbers that he'll write his name on his people.
Yeah.
And I read it as, okay, if I'm one of his people, I would have already written my name on him myself. And then there's another passage, his name, right?
Wait. You see the flaw in that now, right? Because
Okay, yeah.
you see now, though. Okay.
Okay, right. And what did they all tell me? You need to wait on God, brother. You don't put his name on you. Right? That's what they all told me. Guess what they're doing now? They didn't wait on God. They pulled the trigger and started culling our ass, thinking they're doing it in the name of God. Like I was just saying, printing their commemorative coins at the Vatican, you know what I mean? Thinking this is all their house. And it's not. They
So
didn't
we're
wait on
clear.
God, brother. That's
So
what
we're
I think,
clear.
and they're about to get it.
So we're clear. When I asked Jack, what do we do because the system is corrupt? You're saying it's over, what is done. There's nothing we can do.
They pulled the trigger. That's what I think.
So
They're
that's
fixing it.
What is that?
okay.
When they
Aaron,
everything they've been doing.
excuse me, John. Is Aaron, you still up here? You're a smart
Yo,
motherfucker.
cool, my brother. I'm here,
What's
man.
good? What do you think, man? Is the government is corrupt? If you agree with that shit, what do we do now? Or can
Joe,
we do
cool.
anything? Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. This is, to me, the most important question here. And this is how we get, Jack's dream realized of getting in front of these people, right? So check it out.
Yeah.
I have experience in this realm, and I want to share it with you all, because when you simply believe in it,
Supreme Leader, who are you?
you'll
Supreme
know.
Leader, who are you? What?
So check it out. God's greatest commandment is where we start, in my experience, right?
Okay. Treat your neighbor like yourself. Love your neighbor like yourself.
Right. We are the corruption, because truly, the corruption in us is what has quantum, fractally reflected in our government. Because
I would agree with that. So let me just paraphrase a little bit. You're saying that the first thing we do to fix those people is to fix ourselves, and the ripples or quantum refractions, as you were about to call them. If we start there, yeah.
Clean your room, bucko.
Yes. Understand your enemy.
I've learned from. Yeah, this is. I like to say, empathy is truly the key to divinity, because when we really step into another's shoes, which is what the greatest commandment requires, we get a very, I'll say, the golden key to that person's heart. Yeah. Because to truly get through to anyone, right, we have to get through their heart, and that golden key.
You gotta have a
But we
is to
can't
be in
truly
their
step
presence.
in anyone's shoes. All we can do is speculate as to what it's like to be them, and our
And-
speculations can be wrong.
This is where self-mastery comes in, though, because truly, a man who is truly present can step into anyone's shoes.
If not the
Again,
shoes, you were right.
I mean-
the heart part. If not the shoes part, certainly the heart you can step in
Yeah.
if the man is present.
I think
Nice.
empathy.
Good one, Joe.
I think empathy gets more clout than it deserves. I think that all we need to truly do right by others is to listen to them and respect their wishes, right? Because they know what their shoes are like more than I can speculate, no matter how with myself I am.
Great point, Flo. How do we get this done? We listen to others. I think that's great. You know, I think I can't articulate it, but I think that's good.
You have to employ both sympathy and apathy to
Okay.
operate in empathy.
Nice
Okay.
one, brother. So,
Here's-
and
Wait, explain that. Apathy.
Putting yourself in someone's shoes. He just paraphrased someone else.
In order to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you have to be able to feel for them at the same time. That's sympathy. You have to be able to put yourself in their shoes and see from their shoes another perspective. That's apathy. The empathy, sympathy, and apathy is being able to look at circumstances from multiple perspectives.
All right, following this logic, if the object is to bring these cats down, so far we've determined that we must be sympathetic and empathetic to these people, put ourselves in their shoes. That's not a horrible fucked up place to start. Assuming, you know, where are those guys? I feel sorry for that guy. How do I get him to stop now? Is it just by me being the best me? Or do I go in there and
Joe.
file some complaints and sue his ass?
There's the metaphysical level, starting with the prayers and energy, but what Aaron is talking about, and what we're talking about, is establishing a connection, communicating with connection.
Okay.
Joe, this
We
is
got to
where,
build communication with them in some way, a connection with them. I go for that.
well, this is where I truly trust that if given the opportunity, I'm prepared to do this, but it's scriptural as well. You know, when we
Meaning?
come from a place of love, if I can speak to you from a place of peace, without conditions, without competition, I'm coming from a place of love. And if you can receive what I'm saying from a place of love and peace,
That's the fucking problem, though, right? You know, we're talking about the government, his car, his house. That's how he plays his cool. It's not in his best interest to come to you from a place of love, work with you. It's far from his interest. I don't know if that will work.
all right. Can I get specific with someone we can just really like? For instance, a guy that runs the UN, like the main guy. Let's just imagine being that cat. That's David Rockefeller Jr.
Okay.
So just imagine him, and if you want to get to know him, like you can check out his wife is on Instagram, and she's very personal, and she shares like their life together.
Okay.
And they have a wildly powerful love for each other that you can feel in pictures.
Whoa. Are you telling us to get in Rockefeller's shoes, the head of the UN? Is that where we're going here? I'm not saying yay or nay. I just want to make sure that I'm with you.
Well, this is what Jack told me he's really interested in doing, and so I'm taking this seriously. And I'm like,
get in Rockefeller's shoes. All right, I'm with you. I just want to make sure that's what you're saying.
I mean, let's just get real. I mean, those who are paying attention, that guy has been at the head of most of the stuff going on Earth. Like, he runs Big Pharma. What ran COVID? You know, if you want to get to know who's running things, see what's happening.
All right.
Can I ask you something, brother? Are you united with David Rockefeller?
No more than you are.
Is your nation united with him?
Yes, I am one
in your
with
heart.
everyone.
In your heart, you're united with those nations at that UN. Don't you see that's the problem?
Man, let him answer. You ain't.
Brother,
What's the problem?
please
You
let me answer the question. And don't stomp over me while I do, please. I started a conversation with him, so I am very much connected to him, and I was asked to convince the world to join in this conversation in a positive, like loving way, and the world didn't respond so well, and you know, COVID happened. So
John,
I'm just telling
your
you.
answer is yes. He is definitely united with Rockefeller. You sniffed that out, or whatever it was that made you think that you were accurate.
Why not?
Hey,
Why not?
Joe,
Why don't we say Jack Talcott's the head of the United Nations? We're the nations. We're the nationalities. We're the only ones going to be left after they get attacked.
Well,
We
just
should
hear
be
me out, y'all.
starting now.
That train
Hold
of
on a sec.
logic does
Hold on a
not.
sec. Let's be
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
really present, because for one, you're accusing me of like being an insider trying to save him. Just
No.
realize.
I am saying that something he saw made him think that, and he was correct. I'm not commenting on anything other than that.
I just want to tell you all, just for real, like the NSA, everyone has this all recorded. I'm just like one of you, but I was told by my mother that like I was supposed to literally do some good big things on earth, and that like talk good people or powerful people into good things. So I started that. I literally did, and I just want everyone in on it because it can it works when we keep God's law, y'all. It works. These most powerful people on earth, they respect God's law. And they know it's really the top of the. I'll just tell you guys, like for real, those who run the bar and the courts, they respect this knowledge more than anything, and they know that it will implode their whole fraudulent fictional system. But guess what? Everyone gets saved because we're all it. We're all the one. This is our key to ascension, y'all. Our key to divinity is to really live and own your I am that I am perspective.
I got you, but we don't. I'm sorry. I didn't want the key to the ascension yet. I was trying to see how we defeat these guys. And the best I think of what you're saying is that you get into their shoes, you learn them, and you touch them by being by revealing the God in you. That's pretty much what I got out of what you said.
And you reveal the God in you by actually having a heart for what it's like to be in their position.
All right, it's like 8 niggas up there. Let somebody else go.
Hey Jack, I came in to say hi to see how you're doing today, and it looks like you're doing Jack. I'm glad to see that, my friend. Everybody on the panel, you all have a great day. I'm gonna head out.
SJ, it was good to see you. I know we didn't pass a lot of words.
Thank you, brother.
It's always good.
Joe, cool. You're the best, bro, and you all have something to some potential. I can tell. We all have potential. That's why we're up here.
Brother.
Peace.
Take it easy, homie.
Thank you, SJ. Take care. Hey, what's up, Cynthia? You're a newer face for me.
Hello, Cynthia. Love the hair.
Hello. How are you gentlemen doing this evening?
Okay.
Good.
Wow.
Good. So I've been listening.
Look at that.
And I had a couple of questions, if y'all don't mind me asking.
Wow.
You got the floor, babe.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think it's towards Aaron and Jack, or more so are the people that I'm going to be referencing, just off because I was listening to what they were speaking about. So I hear both of you speak a lot about God and God's laws and faith, but I'm not so sure what God you're speaking about. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more about what God it is you believe in? Like, anybody can use the word God, but we might not be thinking about the same God.
Mine here. If
Are
I
you
may,
from a Catholic background, brother?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Can you mute John for a second too? You know you got the spring. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
For me, it's a simple and a difficult one to answer. For me, God is all that is. There is nothing that is not God. Now, how do I know God?
Yeah, do better. That sucks.
I know God. I know God through within, through the truth, and through love. So that's the God I worship. There's a God that is of the entire universe, beyond space and time. It's a force and a power of creation. For me, well, it's not simple, but it is. God is.
Aaron,
I'm
do you have
experiencing God.
Aaron, do you have an answer and something more tangible? I hope, even though Jack's answer was good.
No, it is.
No, it wasn't.
I know it's not answering your question, but I know what Jack is going.
It was vague. It was vague at best.
Well, here I was trying. I was also trying to be brief, even though this is the purpose of what I'm doing. But you know, Aaron, feel free. Maybe your explanations can be understood.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll answer factually as I would in a court of law, because this is to me the presence will bring. So God is to me factually is the great central sun. And this local sun, Amun-Ra, is his son.
I'm sorry, baby. You're in the swamp again. I'm sorry, poor baby. You come up here to get the sun in the swamp. Go ahead, bro.
Joe, I'm going to mute you so he can finish, all right?
Well, this is just factual. Like, according to physics, all spirit and matter is made of plasma, which is sunshine. It's the fourth state of matter, they call it. It's the fourth dimension. The first, it's the field of light that the unified field of consciousness is made of. But to really just be simple for a child, it's our sun. When you feel our sun, what do you feel?
Hot and burned.
I feel epic, like heavenly, loving energy.
No.
Like
Where
heart
does the
energy.
plasma come from? Where does the plasma come from for the sun?
It's an expression of the hydrogen, helium, and carbon.
Where's that coming from?
Yeah, I'm not helping.
Well,
nobody's answered any questions.
Here,
It
hold on.
sounds like you're
Hold
more
on.
scientific in your
Let me-
definition of God. So it sounds like you both have separate definitions of God, but you both talk about God.
I agree.
How
Cynthia.
about-
that was a
how
good
about
observation.
this?
I agree. Very good.
You're right, and everyone is going to have their own relationship with God, and they're going to have their own method of understanding it. For me, like I said, God is all that is. Okay, it is the unknown, that which reveals that which may be known. Okay, our God, our Creator, is mystical, undefinable. It is beyond comprehension.
Let me give a shot at the
It
father
is-
right quick for the sake of conversation.
It is the activity of consciousness.
I think they got the same God, baby. He is the same God. I think that you're going to end up having a God of mercy, forgiving, love. The same guy that they're so
Yeah.
poorly explaining. I think they do
Yeah.
share the same God, though.
So,
Okay, so it's interesting that y'all have the definition. So I just wanted to get a little bit of clarity of where y'all were coming from. And I mean, honestly, it's not too much clearer,
Well-
but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to keep going.
So let me see if I can just really bring that to a full answer.
Sure.
Because that masculine essence of God is the sun, and the union that he co-creates, like the sacred marriage the law of God leads us into, is the sacred marriage of light and darkness. Both light and dark energy, ether and plasma, are unconditioned loving in nature, and look at them. Their intertwined love is what's co-creating everything you can see with the naked eye.
Can
So
we
that's-
call light and dark good and bad?
So darkness
No.
is darkness loves. Can love exist in darkness? Can light exist in darkness? Can
That's all
darkness
there
exist
is.
in light?
You can't have light without the womb
You
of
can't
dark.
have one without the other. They're opposite sides of the same coin.
But see, you have to realize that everything is created for the love that God is defined to be. So both light and, like I said, darkness in its origin is the regenerative energy you sleep in at night.
It has a purpose as well.
It is eternally life-giving. And it is the catalyst for the eternal life-giving love that the energy field is. Because you can't have one without the other. Just like your body is your womb, your heart is your great central sun. So it's like that union is creating your whole body, which is you.
Okay, so can I ask you, sister, what is your definition of
Very
God?
good. Was it very good?
It would be an omnipresence in my life and in the life of anyone else who accepts him, that guides us, that gives us hope and strength and mercy when we call upon him, who no matter how far we walk away from him, he will never leave our side. And we can always apologize and come back to him at any time.
I love it.
So God would be a stranger and sojourner with us, somebody we don't know, but he's always with us, just as the scripture says.
Well, it would be somebody that I have a personal relationship with.
Yeah, I get to know him more and more
Right.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's all the people that guide us in the things that we want in our will in life, because we are
Yes.
told ye are gods, and we are told we are supposed to seek counsel in each other.
I'm not a god. No, I'm not a god.
No, ye are all
in the
gods.
lowercase sense,
So,
the
but-
spiritual. The
So, but I
spiritual.
have a question though. But so my next point is that y'all talk about them so much in the way that y'all speak about them, but I don't always hear a lot of principles. Like I really came to this channel. I started watching Paul, And when I listen to Paul speak, he always talks about principles. So now, whether it be that Paul and I believe in the same God or not, he speaks about principles. So what principles do the God that y'all serve, that y'all believe in, what principles does he have? And could you explain to me where those principles
Well,
are?
I believe in Baphomet, and our main thing is to drink the blood of children. This is how we remain young.
What?
All right? I'm just kidding. Somebody else.
What?
I'm kidding.
So that's a really
You
good
don't
question. Go
side
ahead,
with
Jack.
the
You wanna say
majority.
something?
You
So
don't
the
lay
principle.
a stumbling block in front of the blind. That's major principles of my
Well,
God.
So the principle
Nice, bro. Nice.
So the principle we just discussed was doing unto your neighbor as you would do unto yourself. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Mhm.
This is the empathy, apathy, and sympathy that we're supposed to be practicing in our different perspectives.
There's a principle for you.
The platinum rule would be a bigger principle for me, and that is do unto others as they would have you do unto them.
Ain't that what he just said?
No, he said love you, and then he's saying
As yourself,
as they
right?
would do
The
it.
different,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is actually.
So I guess I don't disagree. I'm
Go ahead,
not
Jack.
disagreeing with the wizard. I'm just sort of modifying.
All right.
Well, the principles for what I'm offering, I mean, and the God that I, in my mind and heart, is the Father Jesus spoke of. It's the one that reveals nature and the divinity of life to us. So the principles, I'm constantly suggesting people, the way that Jesus taught, that's the way we're supposed to live. Love God.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, so I'm
love one
Hold
another.
on. Let me get a question for both of y'all or all of y'all in here. He said, the life that Jesus talks, blah, blah, blah. Well, I just read something in the Bible the other day. I don't mean to start a lot of controversy here. Don't get me mad, Jack. But it's fair. Jesus said, bring my enemies to me and slay them at my feet.
What was that? Do you remember?
Girl, I took a picture of it, but
It was Matthew something.
I'm
All
on
right.
that.
So if I may, y'all, let's get real. It's through the fruit of the Spirit.
What are
Cynthia,
the fruits
you
of the
know.
spirit exactly? Could you explain those a little bit more to
Oh,
me?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Godly character. So love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness. The greatest characters there are.
There's more.
Forgiving, mercy, love, all that shit.
What were they again?
Let me read them all to you right here.
There's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness,
kindness.
faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. They're found in Ephesians. They were written by Paul when he was instructing the first churches how to begin.
You go, girl.
You said you wanted
now
to
that we
follow the
brought up the fruits of this,
Rockefeller.
which is a very good observation. Now I'm curious as I got that from the Bible. I'm not sure what
So it's in Galatians 5:22.
I'm sorry, Galatians. My apologies. Written by Paul, though.
And it lays the proper foundation for any church.
Correct.
All churches have to be laid on that foundation. Otherwise, it's not a true church.
Nice.
Well, now let's take that a step further outside of church. And now when we're called to test, we test the spirits. And those are the tests that we pass upon. I've looked at Paul and I look at his spirits and I can tell he does have self-control. Paul's not always gentle, but he's not always harsh either.
And he doesn't always have self-control. Let's not delude ourselves.
And he was writing to Ephesians.
It's contained chaos. It is still a form of self-control.
He was writing to an Ephesian and Romans. So if I listen to what Paul's saying, I automatically ascribe and consider myself a Roman citizen. When he writes his letters to the Romans, and then you say, okay, these fruits are found in a letter to a Roman.
Right.
These are my fruits. Who am I?
Right.
I'm a Roman.
All right. Okay. So let's
see the legal trickery there.
Are these just
only if you believe that?
Okay,
I do. Absolutely, I believe Paul was an agent for Rome. Absolutely.
Okay, well then you're dismissing all of the value that was found in those words, but feel free. You can say judgment. Right. And all words is true. All truthful words come from God. And by God's grace, we are allowed to learn things that have been written as
Jesus
truth. Now,
said
what is
Pharisees were blind guide, Jack.
Wait.
He
wait,
praised
One
himself
thing.
as a
Aaron
Pharisee.
was trying to say
Yeah,
something
you
here.
got to stop
too.
interrupting him when he's answering or he's
Okay,
responding to you,
so
John.
I'm sorry.
here's the golden key, y'all, to truly embodying what Cynthia's asking about. And I love, Cynthia, I got to appreciate you. You're coming in with some divine feminine authoritative knowings
I
and
love it, right?
questioning to call us to a higher place. And I love this. So let's go there. The original law of God has never been known according to Babylon or Rome. And this original law of God is the only thing that kept me alive when I was being tested by them like crazy. And so this is our key, y'all. This original law of God is that we are, and this is, again, the only way back to Eden. So we are to only know goodness because, and this ties right into what Paul said in 2 Corinthians 5:18, where he defines our purpose as children of God, aka body of Christ that we are, the Savior that we are, is he says in verse 18, now all things are of God, therefore reconcile all things to God, who is the greatest good, through Christ, who is the unconditional love of the Son. And see, this works. This is our ministry of reconciliation that the whole Bible's about.
But
But
that's
I
a
don't
cipher
understand
to you,
how you're
brother.
referencing
That's
the
a
Bible
cipher.
when you don't believe in that God of the Bible.
When you're
I
talking
never
about
said that,
Paul
man, at all.
reconciling things to the Son,
Hold on.
you're saying that in a figurative speech, manner of speaking. You're not talking about an actual person.
No, sure,
Talking about
brother. Listen,
plasma and the divine and all that stuff.
brother, you guys are making some big assumptions, and let's clarify this, okay? When I speak of who God is, I am speaking of what the Bible says God is, very clearly, right? The great mystery of all things is revealed in the first 3 verses of the law of God. It is so genius. It is unreal. And
Wait,
that
what are the
first
3
mention of
verses of
God.
the law of God? What are the verses of the law of God? What are we talking about?
So check it out. The first verse is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The second
Bible
verse is,
itself. Okay.
the second verse identifies the divine feminine, ether, earth, same thing, synonymous. The sea of space, as we refer to it in law, because the space we speak of, the air, the ethers, they are crystalline in nature, which is what water is. And that's the Christ. It's unconditional love. And this plasma color is the rose quartz crystal that was symbolic of the crown Jesus wore. And when Jesus said in Revelation 22:16 that I am a descendant of David, I am the morning star, David knew that God was the S-U-N. He said it in Psalms 84:11. So I'm speaking of the biblical God. There is no separation. Remember, as those who know God's true names, they know that God's name is the all in all. Yahweh means the existing.
Hey,
So when we know God,
I died one time, and the first thing they asked me was, "What's God's name?" I didn't know. Didn't have an answer.
Okay.
well, here's the
When
thing.
you say he's the son of David, is David a real figure to you? Is that a real man? Are you talking about a mythical essence of something?
I like it.
Remember, brother, Ephesians 4:6 says very clearly that God is the all in all. And when you step in to start creating distinctions on what God is and not, then that's committing the original sin. And that's
All
what
right,
got
all
us
right,
into
all right.
in the realm.
Wait. Did you just answer his question? I think he was asking,
Is
was
he a
David a
person?
literal person or not? I think that was the question. And I think your answer would have come off as you're sinning if you asked me that question. So I hope I misunderstood.
No. Well, what it is I just want to address the lawful presence I want to keep. So do I think David was a real person?
Yeah.
I think there's a good possibility. I'm not going to guarantee you that because I wasn't there at that time, but I will say yes,
That's
there's a
fair.
high probability.
That's fair.
So that when you say son of David, that's a figure of speech. So what does that make David to you? The son, the father of God, or what?
I'm just saying that's what the verse says. He's a
No,
descendant. He
he
said,
never said
I
that.
am the
In the
offspring of
Gospels,
David.
he never he said we had to kill him because he was the son of David.
Brother,
He
look
never
at
confessed. He said, "How
look
can
at
I be the son of
Revelation.
David?"
Please,
One
brother,
at a
look
time, guys. One
at
at
the
a time.
scripture right now. Just look it up.
I did. That's in Revelation. I'm talking about in the Gospels. When did Jesus ever say, "I'm the son of David"? He never did. In fact, he would
I didn't
not
say
take
he's
the
the
throne of
son of.
David.
I said he's the
What is
descendant. He's the offspring. It doesn't matter. Like Can
That's
we
true.
get
I'm just trying to
focused
get down to what you're calling
Are you trying to
God and Son and David.
understand? Are you,
God is
I
love,
am, but
brother.
he's going in
That's
and
all that
out,
matters.
Jack, of a metaphor and history. I'm trying to decipher which is what for him.
All
Hey,
right,
brother,
for both of you guys'
okay.
sake, I think
can we keep
this
it
will
lawful?
suffice. He is saying that he was a literal descendant of who are we talking about? David. I think that will that suffice for both of you guys. You don't have to be the
Does
literal
this
son.
matter? Here's a question.
If
Does
we
this
need to
matter?
reference things,
Absolutely, it
Right.
does.
Yeah,
Why? Why does
absolutely.
it matter, John?
Yeah, tell me.
Why? Because that's the power structure. He's all over it.
Okay, so wait. According to you, there's
Yes.
a power structure that is
Yes,
completely relevant.
to what he's saying,
And what
and
is that power structure that's relevant that you think
that
there's a flaw in? Where I'm not
that God is the
understanding.
son of David, and that
Uh,
we're all going to be under David's thumb soon. That's what's coming, brother.
Oh,
That's what they're
brother.
Believe
rolling out
that?
from us. You don't
Okay.
believe that, but
Okay. So,
666 has always been Solomon's number. It's. I mean, they don't hide it. When they did the Abrahamic Accords,
Okay,
they had
okay.
666 blowing in the fountain. You know what I mean?
hey,
They all
hey,
got
can I
okay.
together
pause
under
Hey,
for a
John,
David's name.
second? Before I say
let's let
something, please let's not squash any opinions here. If our theories and sit are solid, we should be able to debate them. I'm afraid
Exactly.
shit's about to go left. And John, don't talk over people because you'll make it worse. I'm sorry, Chad.
Hey, John, my brother, I just have to address what you're asking because you did direct this to me. I said this statement, and I want you, Joe, to really land this with me.
Okay.
It is unlawful for us to not reconcile or to fail to reconcile
I would agree.
all things to God, or it is unlawful to fail to reconcile all things to God. So let's ascend, let's lead Solomon and David and that whole lineage that you're concerned about, John, back to God and into ascension. And if I was you,
I like it.
I would join me in actually just handling it all by leading what we call the anti back to the Christ. Because the moment we do that internally and externally, we will have fulfilled our purpose as the resurrected Christ, the body of Christ that
All right,
1 Corinthians 12:27 says we are.
that
what
lineage
is
that's
What
reconcile?
was
in
that?
there.
What was
What
that
is
verse
it?
again you referenced?
1 Corinthians 12:27.
What does it mean to reconcile things to God? Like,
So lead them back to it. Like the whole purpose of a follower of Christ, right, is to get people saved by reconciling, making them right. Reconcile means to make right. So
Aaron,
but how do you do that? Like,
by being godly. Like
What's
this is
godly?
what we're
And where do you
talking
get your godly
about
from? Do you get your
doing with
godly
this.
from the Bible? Do you get your godly from the Bible, or do you pull
Ma'am,
it from multiple places?
as I stated clearly, it's the greatest commandment of God that I'm speaking from. This golden rule we speak
From
of.
love? You get your
All right.
commandment from love?
Absolutely.
Can I suggest that you just violated the laws of God with what you just said, brother?
how so?
You wanted me to leave it all to God. And the laws of God, Leviticus 20 says, whoever turns a blind eye to the man who throws his children in the fire and drinks the blood and does all those things Solomon and David and them did with their Canaanite friends, you want me to leave that to God. And God's law says whoever turns a blind eye to that, he'll wipe out them and their whole family.
Who's turning a
I'm
blind eye
not.
to that, brother?
Yeah,
You
now I
told me
want
to
to
leave
Right.
it be. Leave it be. So what if they
That's
come back at
What did
me
that
and
you?
is
say, hey,
not
we,
What did
we
a
are
you?
nice
running
thing
shit?
to do. No, brother. That's not what I said to do. If you, again, if you're listening, I'm the one in here speaking of how we're to lead those we call that adversary back to God
Who
and into
is your
ascension.
but how do
adversary?
you do it in that situation?
Yeah, but
Literally.
you've not shown it. We've gone over this for months. You've not shown it on the ground. I've not seen it here yet. I've heard you do a lot of talking. I've
Well,
embodied what you're talking about, and I've shown an on the ground example working with policy
not
enforcement. You're shaking your head.
not
So I haven't
true.
spoken in fucking 30 minutes. I've sat here displaying the self control the woman
Yes,
talked
you
about
have.
that you say I don't have. I went to go
Whoa.
speak, and you cut
Let's
me the
let her
fuck off,
spirit.
verifying folks here have control issues with themselves and their world. That's why they're always yapping here with little to no results.
Hey, brother, Paul,
Well,
you directed a question to me, man.
you let Jack speak to at some point.
Go ahead, Jack. But I want to answer that question or statement. Respond.
yeah, I know, Aaron. I appreciate what you're bringing, folks. Paul, the reason I was shaking my head is because you made a claim to Aaron, just like you've made the claim to me that you've listened to us for months and you're not seeing it, you're not hearing it. That's because you are in denial. Okay?
I'm in
You're
denial.
not
Okay.
living, Paul, you're not living the Christed way that you
So
believe
he says
you
he's
are,
in
or
touch
that
with
you
David
claim to be.
Rockefeller.
Hey, Paul,
Okay.
based on the
Brother,
You're
I
both
can confirm
agents.
this.
You're both agents of Shaitan or some kind of
No.
corporate dealing, or both.
no.
So, Paul,
No.
why don't you demonstrate your sovereignty, brother, and lead your shaitan and everything else you're saying unholy back to the Holy Spirit, because that's how you demonstrate your true status and
Right.
standing.
And I just explained to you that that's on record over and over again, folks, on the
brother,
steps of the courthouse.
Brother, when you break the original law of God, you've lost all status and standing. And that's what you're doing. You're knowing not good in things.
Okay, so you're going to be the authority in the room. Sorry, I forgot how this goes. If I keep talking, you say my energy's off, then you have me kicked, right? I remember.
Brother,
I got
the
it.
law is the authority here.
Yeah, and I
Got it. And you're the only one in the room who can discern the law clearly. So I defer to you, which is exactly what you want.
The fruit of the Spirit demonstrates your lawful presence.
Right, the fruit, what you can hold in your hand. Show us something that we can hold in our hand or that you've done and created that exemplifies what you're speaking of. If not, it's all babble.
The only thing that's available to be seen is right now. So let's calm down right now,
wait,
and
stop
we
it
can
there,
see
Jack.
each other with
Right
the
now is-
Christed view.
Right now is beautiful. I'm agreeing with you. The only thing is right now, and that was Aaron's strong point. He was totally keeping it in the realm and the energy of good and what would be positive. He was exhibiting it right now. You were seeing an example of it right there. Whether poorly in your judgment or not, he had the whole conversation about God. He was doing his fucking job.
Okay, so let me ask the
Question.
divine feminine in here.
I still have a
Cynthia, may I
question.
ask?
Hold on. Let me go first. Before we move on, John mentioned the turning a blind eye to people doing shit to their kids. How would you rectify that situation to God?
Very good.
Are you asking me, Flow State?
Okay.
I was asking Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you for this good question, Flow State. So, I personally, what I did was I stepped up, and with the sovereign authority of God's word, God's law, I stepped in front of literally those who run or have been running these rings, and I'm telling you what I did, and it works. We just need to do it together.
Can we see proof of it?
But what is that, though?
Absolutely.
Because I asked you months ago for proof of it. We still haven't seen it here. Can we do a share screen?
I'm
Anything?
with Paul.
Hold on.
I'm totally with Paul. Let's see something right now.
Okay.
So the last time I asked him this, he went and got flyers he printed out on printer paper, held them up, and we never actually saw any proof or
Hey, I
fact,
gotta
so.
hold on. I'm interrupting real quick.
That would help you a lot.
Hold on, Joe.
Go ahead.
Does anyone know a Richard Madsen? There's someone in the back here. I don't recognize Richard. Can you show?
I don't think so. You can put up an overlay and hear his voice if you want.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do.
Don't get porn bombed.
That would help me a lot in your argument a lot, man, because if you have some evidence, we don't just have to go on your word. That would bolster your shit a ton.
Or even just
Let's also not forget that, as you say,
in front of them with the word of God. Like, how does that work?
I didn't hear you, Flo. I didn't hit a whole question.
Okay, so that's what I did. That's why I said this original law of God is the ultimate solution here, because what I did, y'all, is I took that law seriously when I came under I literally had assassins all over me, for real.
Can we just see the proof of any of your claims? Now you have 5 claims.
Paul,
I really can't take you seriously.
If I can send this to Jack, so please be present. I'm doing my part. I need some way to show this to you.
What's the point of telling us over and over for months that you had all of these assassins all over?
You can put it in the back chat. Is it a link or something?
Flo, you know Demolished Doctrine?
Yeah, I do. He's good.
Okay, thank you, brother.
If it's really him, peace and respect to you all.
I do have a link. Let me get that link.
He's got a great penis too, so
it's like
you'll enjoy it.
I want to answer Flo State's question though, regarding how do we deliver this law of God? Is we embody it. When I chose to see and know the greatest good in these guys, who are seen as the greatest bad, it literally, and it's, you know what it is, guys? It's mind control. When you know the greatest good in someone who's actually maybe seen as not that, they shift
But
because
explain it like
they
it's
can
a story.
Okay,
Tell the
agree.
perfect.
I agree,
Perfect.
Aaron.
That's why I was given a context. So let me say this. I would walk out the door and I'd have deep state agents all over me, like CIA.
You better
George
be finding
Soros.
that link every time you say that shit. You better be finding that link.
God, let me just stop what I'm doing and find the
Let him
link.
cook.
Right. Please be present, Aaron, because I don't think you can talk and look for that proof at the same time, and we need that proof. So
I need to say good night. I'm headed over to
All right. Hey,
member stream with Brian Stavely.
all right, John.
Peace,
I had
John.
wanted to
Good
meet
night.
you.
Thank
Please
you.
come back, John. I
Thanks,
want to
John.
explore some of the
Hell
other
yeah.
shit that you didn't get a chance to talk about the other day.
Heck yeah. Good evening, everybody.
Thanks for joining, John.
Okay,
Thank
Have
you.
a good
here it
night.
is. Oh,
Take that damn sprinkler with you, damn it.
There we go. And actually, I think it's time to wrap this up
Whoa,
pretty
whoa,
soon.
whoa, whoa.
well, yeah, let's just get the proof.
Proof.
Yeah, let's just
I
let's
know. I'm just laying the foundation,
I got
before long.
My man.
you know what? I'm going to give you the whole folder, y'all.
Jack, you don't seem to like confrontation much.
He
And,
does
like
not.
all confrontation's not bad. That's how growth happens.
Oh, hey, Cynthia, I recognize that. And after the many years of confrontation that I've been dealing with and been very patient with, the months and months of confrontation I've been dealing with publicly, I think I do pretty good. So thanks for the offer of reminding me that, yeah, I'm sorry you think that I don't appreciate it. Well, maybe I don't. Can you understand why maybe I wouldn't appreciate constant disagreements?
We can understand, but she's doing her job, reminding you. Every motherfucker
Reminding me of the shortcomings that a Christian finds. That's what.
Could you understand? Could you understand?
You have to let it ride sometime. That's what makes Paul's panel engaging.
Yeah, you should actually see my shows from my view. Once you see the life I'm living in my shoes, you might have a different perspective and understanding. But that's we're new, and I welcome you, Cynthia. What's up, Cynthia? God bless you. I do appreciate honestly what you're bringing today. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, thank you for having me up. I'm gonna go ahead. I got other
all right, baby. It was nice.
I appreciate it. I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, fine.
Baby.
Peace.
See, typically,
Which
it's
one
definitely
true.
It's in the chat,
definitely
y'all.
true that we only learn from no, and we have never learned anything. We've only been confirmed of things from yes. So yeah, there's value in conflict so long as it's not just strictly combative and without purpose.
Agree 1,000%. Right? If motherfuckers could get past that, it has to be a fight. Just fucking state your argument and leave the rest out.
Well, yeah. If I may, yesterday was a real powerful day for me, Father's Day. I was feeling into the heart of the collective father.
Okay.
And especially like our ultimate father. And honestly, y'all, to me, that's like the best ever.
All right.
These
All right, Aaron,
let
us
ourselves be led by what we feel our Father God wants from his children. That's
but it's how you feel. How do you know objectively true that is how the Father feels?
Well, to get to know the Father. And imagine being the Father.
You imagine being the Father.
Objective proof is difficult. That's a tough hill to climb.
Which file in this folder is the one that's relevant to the story?
Let me post that. I was just grabbing that for you. And hey, remember, your tone shows what spirit you're serving.
I like it.
You're, just remember, some of us are really good with psychology. So if you attempt to manipulate and lead the witnesses, we notice that.
And also remind us, some of us are tone.
Remember, brother, psyche means the spirits who form and animate the being. So
remember, brother, I have equal amount of time in this, if not more.
All right.
What are we doing?
Yeah, Aaron, what are we doing?
I just posted what you asked me to.
And this is
Did you bring it up specifically? We see a picture there, a God, PNG, human meaning, JPEG.
Hey, Paul, the latest link is the exact file that you asked for.
Okay, can we bring it up?
Oh, maybe there's another one, Jack. See if there's another one back
That's what I'm checking.
I mean, geez, guys, like, what's most important is the power of God's law just being embodied in this now moment. Because I guarantee you, you got a major audience. I've been told by physical agents I'm under constant surveillance. And I'm just telling you this because you guys could have a major influence right now just by being radically godly.
So you have messages from someone who claims to be David Rockefeller Jr. with his picture in a suit.
Hey, you can disprove this all you want. Paul, come over here and let's go to court, and I will show them literally
All right, hold
freak
on.
out
Let's
But this
examine
when we
is
go
what
into
we got
court.
different
here.
from the
Let's
story even that you were talking about when you embodied, when you rectified the child abuse ring or whatever it was, right?
I literally had Lord Jacob, like I've got 11 friend requests from Lord Jacob Rothschild. He's the biblical Lord of the world who's been a huge part of the human trafficking. And he told me that I led him back to God, and we witnessed a dimensional ascension initiated in Malibu.
Is it possible that he recognizes, like I do, that you're a really good manipulator in certain arenas, if this is the real David Rockefeller, and that he's using you and deceiving you to try to get you to work for him? Did that ever occur to you?
Hey, brother, when my only focus is to reconcile him to God, to the unconditional love of Christ, I don't hold space for any of that unlawful consciousness you're mentioning.
So you're saying it's not even a possibility that these people who are known for being corrupt frauds, who specialize in deceiving folks.
Brother, if you know psyche and psychology, you know if you hold space for that in doubt and question, they see that and they'll take you out. Like I've been under the biggest guns on earth, and if I held space for that option, they see that as a green light to pull the trigger.
And
So you're claiming now we're supposed to honor individuals who, if you come forth and question them and their intentions based on their reputation, they're going to kill you.
I'm simply telling you what my experience was, brother.
So these are the honorable people that we're expected to work with you and with. Is we have to embody what you say love is, and or they're going to kill us for questioning them.
And these
Doesn't sound like a relationship I want to be part of, sir. Thank you for the offer again for months later.
And also, I'll mention
Paul,
that if you're here,
you don't have the option. You don't have the option,
I'll
brother.
remind you that if you're here to try to teach everybody else to reconcile other people, and you yourself have yet to reconcile, you're not going to find anybody to listen.
Hey, as long as we pile in
We're
on Aaron,
guessing I'm not reconciling. Hey guys, I'm ready to shut down.
All right.
Okay.
I don't blame you. This has been a colossal lack of success, as always. Even with folks
we
in
got
touch with all the Rothschild.
agents.
Hey,
Own
Jack.
your part. Each of you can own your part.
Anyway,
Mr. Talbot, I hope that
Talcott got
Flow
50
State
bucks
again
today.
shares your show so I can find you again. I'd be interested in having an
You
actual
two
serious
should talk.
conversation.
Or you two should talk, Jack. I think you'd enjoy the conversation talking to Richard more, maybe without all the noise.
Thanks for allowing me the chance
Can you
to come on.
Please hold on just a moment. We'll allow some of the others, maybe you and I can meet. Is that all right?
That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, I just want to say thank
Joey.
you too to Casey for donating $50, and she said this is for the Make Men Great Again, fund.
Hey.
So that's epic.
You know what? It's been chaotic. Casey, if you're still here for the Make Men Great Again fund.
It's awesome, right?
And to Lin Yin
That is-
Chin, thank you for the $11 for Robot
Yes.
Lives.
Amen. I don't understand this. The giant robots as manifestation of maximum complexity, but thank you for the contribution and support.
Yes.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you so much, brother, and all of y'all.
God bless. Heckle, I'm gonna put you out. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for showing, and you showed some grace and presence today. I appreciate that. Tell you what, Demolish, you want to talk here, or you want to, Paul, what do you want to do? I'm ready to shut down, but I do want to talk to Demolish a little bit, and
I would just hang around if that's all right. And when it goes off air,
okay, do an after show. That would be perfect if you're comfortable with that. So with that, I'm going to throw you to the back. Paul, any last words? Aaron, Flo?
No, wherever you want to go with it, Jack.
All right, brother. Thank you for joining, all of you, brothers and sisters in the chat, those who join later. Thank you. Thank you for joining today. These were some beautiful, wonderful conversations today, and I genuinely do thank those who participated. At this time where we're living, brothers and sisters, I mean, the purpose I started with was rising through change and the way that we can recognize rock bottoms. And we don't have to drop. We don't have to hit a bottom. We can just make that choice. That choice to change is within each of us, every one of us. And regardless of your belief of God, recognize you have a relationship with the Creator. And I'm confident when I say what I say, that God is all that is. From our position in this, with the limited perceptions, the limited cognition that we possess, even though as a human we are vast and infinite, because of the limits of what we can perceive, I trust that we are simply experiencing, we experience that which is perfect for us. And then we're here to do as we can in this game of life to discover, why did God have faith in me? Why did God think I needed to be here at this time, in this form? There's a purpose. There's a purpose behind every blade of grass, every insect, every wing. I don't know. My mind's starting to drift. I want to thank everyone again. Thank you for joining, sharing the love. Hopefully you receive some inspiration and can share that encouragement with others. And if you enjoy what you're hearing, point others in this direction. Thank you again. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless. Thank you, brothers and sisters.